I never thought a simple prank could shatter everything I built. I never thought something so stupid could be the thing that put my marriage on the edge of collapse. But here I am, standing in the wreckage, wondering if there's anything left to save. And the worst part? I should have seen it coming. When I married David, I knew I was also becoming a stepfather to his teenage daughter, Bella. She was 13 at the time, moody, distant, and clearly unimpressed by my presence in her life. I understood. Her mom had passed away when she was 9, and it had been just her and David for years. Then I came along, disrupting their little unit. I tried to be patient. I tried to connect. But Bella? She made it very clear that she wasn't interested. At first, it was small things. Ignoring me at the dinner table, rolling her eyes when I spoke, pretending not to hear me when I asked her a question. David always brushed it off. She's just adjusting, he'd say. Give her time. So I did. And I kept giving her time. For years. But nothing changed. If anything, it got worse. By the time Bella turned 16, I had accepted that we would never be close. And honestly, I was fine with that. I didn't need to be her parent. I just needed us to peacefully coexist. But Bella? She hated that I was in her life. And she was about to prove just how far she was willing to go to push me out. It started as a joke. At least, that's what Bella claimed. One afternoon, I came home from work to find David in the kitchen, frowning at his phone. "What's up?" I asked. He sighed. "I got a weird text from my mom. Something about congratulations." I frowned. Congratulations for what? David showed me his phone. His mom had sent a message. "So excited for you too. Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "What the hell?" I muttered. A second later, my phone buzzed. A text from my own mother. "Why am I finding out on Facebook?" Confused, I quickly opened the app. And that's when I saw it. A post. From me. At least, it looked like it was from me. "Exciting news. David and I are expecting. Can't wait to meet our little one in 2025, Red Heart." My heart stopped. The post had dozens of comments. "OMG. Congratulations. Wait, what? I had no idea you two were trying. This is incredible news." I stared at the screen, my pulse pounding. I hadn't posted this, but someone else had. And suddenly it clicked. "Bella," I said under my breath. David looked up. "What?" Bella did this. We stormed up to her room. She was sitting on her bed, earbuds in, scrolling on her phone like she didn't have a care in the world. She looked up at us and smirked. "What's up?" David crossed his arms. "Bella, did you post this?" He held up his phone, showing the fake announcement. Bella's smirk widened. "Oh, that." She shrugged. "Yeah, I thought it'd be funny." I blinked. "Funny. Funny. You hacked into my account," I said, my voice shaking, "and lied to everyone about me being pregnant for a joke?" Bella rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, relax. It's not like anyone actually believed it." David pinched the bridge of his nose. "Bella, this is serious." She scoffed. "Why? It's just Facebook." I let out a sharp laugh. "Just Facebook? Do you know how many people have seen this?" Her face twisted into a smug grin. "Yeah, a lot. You're kind of trending." I saw red. I turned to David, expecting anger, expecting him to lay down the law, to finally parent his daughter instead of letting her get away with everything. But instead, he sighed. "Bella," he said, his voice calm, "I get that you thought this was funny, but you really crossed a line here." Bella shrugged. "Whatever. I'll delete it." And that was it. No punishment. No consequences. Just a half-hearted, "Don't do it again." I couldn't believe it. I turned to David, my hands shaking. "That's it? That's all you're going to say? What do you want me to do?" he asked, exasperated. "I don't know, discipline her. Maybe actually hold her accountable for once." Bella let out a dramatic sigh. "Jesus, you're so sensitive. No wonder I don't like you." And that was my breaking point. I laughed. I actually laughed. Because suddenly, everything made sense. Bella wasn't the problem. David was. Bella had learned this behavior from him. She knew she could do whatever she wanted, and he would never hold her accountable. And I was done. I grabbed my coat and walked toward the door. David frowned. "Where are you going?" I turned to him, my heart pounding. "I don't know yet," I admitted. "But I know I can't stay here." Bella snorted. "Oh no, what a tragedy." I locked eyes with her. "You think this is funny?" I asked quietly. "You won. Congratulations." And then, I walked out the door. I didn't know where I was going. I just drove. And for the first time in years, I let myself breathe. Let myself imagine a life where I didn't have to fight for respect, where I wasn't treated like a guest in my own home. And that's when I knew this wasn't just about the prank. It was about everything. And maybe it was time to walk away. For good. But what I didn't know, David wasn't going to let me go that easily. And Bella? She was about to make things so much worse. I drove for hours, not knowing where I was going, just that I couldn't go back home. Not yet. David's reaction, or lack of one, played on repeat in my head. His daughter had humiliated me publicly, hacked into my account, and lied to my family and friends. And his response? A sigh. A week don't do it again. Like it was nothing. Like I was the problem for being upset. I pulled into a gas station parking lot and shut off the engine. My hands were still shaking. I wasn't just angry, I was hurt. Because this wasn't just about the prank. It was about the years of disrespect, the constant dismissals, the way David always made excuses for Bella, no matter what she did. And I was so tired of it. My phone buzzed. I wasn't sure I even wanted to look. But when I did, I saw a string of texts from David. David, come home. Let's talk. David, this is getting out of hand. Bella deleted the post. It's over. David, are you seriously ignoring me? David, this is ridiculous. I laughed, because of course that's how he saw it. In his mind, the problem wasn't Bella's behavior. It was me for reacting to it. And that's when I knew David wasn't going to change. And Bella, she was only going to get worse. I checked my missed calls. Most were from David, but one was from my mother. I hesitated. I knew she'd seen the fake pregnancy post. I knew she'd have questions. But right now, I just needed someone in my corner. So I called her back. She picked up on the first ring. Honey, are you okay? And just like that, I broke. I didn't mean to. But the second I heard her voice, I felt everything bubble up to the surface. I told her everything. From the prank, to David's reaction, to the years of disrespect that had led up to this moment. By the time I finished, I was crying. And my mother? She was furious. You need to leave, she said firmly. I sniffled. Mom, it's not that simple. Yes, it is, she interrupted. He's never going to stand up for you. He's never going to make her respect you. And you deserve better than this. I knew she was right. But leaving wasn't just about walking out the door. It was messy. David and I had built a life together. We shared a home, finances, commitments. Could I really just walk away? I exhaled shakily. I don't know what to do, I admitted. There was a pause. Then, come stay with me, she said. At least for a while. Get some space. Figure things out. And for the first time all day, I felt a sliver of relief. I ended the call, wiped my face, and took a deep breath. I wasn't making any final decisions, but I was leaving, at least for now. I turned the car around and drove home, not to talk things out with David, but to pack a bag. But when I walked through the door, I knew immediately that something was wrong. David was sitting on the couch, arms crossed, staring at me like I had personally offended him. And Bella? She was standing beside him, smirking, like she had already won. So, David said, his tone cold, "This is how you handle problems?" Running away, I dropped my keys on the counter. "You call this a problem?" "Yeah," he said. "I do, because you're blowing this way out of proportion." I laughed. "Your daughter publicly humiliated me, and you did nothing." Bella snorted. "Oh my God, it was a prank. Get over it." I turned to her, really looking at her. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't ever going to be sorry, because she knew she could get away with it. And David? He was letting her. I looked back at him. "You really don't see the problem here, do you?" David ran a hand through his hair. "I see that you're making this bigger than it needs to be." I shook my head. "No," I said. "I'm finally seeing things clearly." Bella rolled her eyes. "Ugh, this is so dramatic." I turned to her, and in that moment, I made a decision. A final one. I wasn't just leaving for the night. I was leaving for good. I walked upstairs, grabbed a suitcase, and started packing. David followed me. "What the hell are you doing?" he demanded. I didn't even look at him. "Exactly what it looks like." He scoffed. "You're seriously leaving over a prank?" I zipped up the suitcase. "No, David," I said. "I'm leaving because I finally realized I deserve better than this." His jaw clenched. "You're really going to throw away everything over one mistake?" I met his gaze. This wasn't one mistake, I said quietly. This was the last straw. I walked downstairs, suitcase in hand. Bella was grinning, like she had won. But, she said mockingly, don't let the door hit you on the way out. I paused. Then I turned to her, and I smiled. Enjoy being his only priority, I said sweetly. Because after this, you will be. Her smirk faltered. And David? He finally looked worried. I walked out the door, got in my car, and didn't look back. Not this time. Because this time, I wasn't waiting for David to change. I wasn't hoping for things to get better. I was done. And they were about to realize exactly what that meant. Driving away from that house felt surreal. For the first time in years, I wasn't weighed down by the constant battle of trying to be accepted in my own home. I wasn't overthinking, second-guessing, or wondering if I was being too sensitive. I was free. But David? He wasn't going to let me go without a fight. I had barely been at my mom's house for an hour when my phone started buzzing. At first, I ignored it. I needed a minute to breathe. Then Lisa, my best friend, called. You need to check Facebook. Right now. My stomach dropped. I knew it had to be Bella, or David, or both. And when I opened the app, my suspicions were confirmed. David had posted a long, dramatic status. David, I'm devastated. After everything we've been through, I never thought my wife would just walk out on me over a misunderstanding. Relationships are about patience, about love, about forgiveness. But I guess some people don't believe in fighting for what they have. David, I'm heartbroken, but I'll be okay. Bella, and I will be okay. Thank you to those who have reached out. We appreciate the support during this difficult time. I laughed out loud. Difficult time? Misunderstanding? Was he serious? The comments were already rolling in. Comment number 1, what happened? I thought you guys were solid. Comment number 2, OMG David, I'm so sorry. You deserve better. Comment number 3, a real wife wouldn't just leave like that. Stay strong, man. And of course, Bella, I tried so hard to make things work, but she never accepted me. I just wanted us to be a family. I scoffed. She wanted us to be a family? She had spent the past 3 years treating me like a problem that needed to be erased. And now, she was playing the victim. I clenched my jaw. Fine. If David and Bella wanted to rewrite the narrative, I had my own version of events to share. I took a deep breath and posted my own status. Me, I never thought I'd have to say this publicly, but here we are. Since my husband has decided to paint me as the villain, I think it's only fair to tell my side of the story. Me, I didn't leave over a misunderstanding. I left because after 3 years of being treated like an outsider in my own home, I finally realized I deserved better. I left because my stepdaughter has gone out of her way to humiliate and disrespect me, and my husband has allowed it every single time. Me, the final straw, she hacked into my social media, posted a fake pregnancy announcement, and laughed in my face when I confronted her. And my husband? He shrugged it off like it was nothing. Me? So yes, I walked away, and I don't regret it for a second. I hit post, and then I watched the fireworks begin. The response was instant. People were furious. Not at me. At David and Bella. Comment number 1. Wait, she faked a pregnancy announcement? That's not a prank. That's psycho behavior. Comment number 2. Your husband let that happen? No wonder you left. Comment number 3. I used to feel bad for David, but nah. He raised an entitled brat and enabled her. You dodge a bullet, girl. Comment number 4. Bella's been awful for years. We all saw it. You were just the only one strong enough to walk away. I felt a rush of satisfaction. Finally, people saw the truth. And David? He was not happy. That night, he called. I almost didn't pick up, but part of me wanted to hear what he had to say. I answered, keeping my voice flat. What do you want? You humiliated me, he spat. You humiliated Bella. I laughed. Oh, now you care about humiliation? He ignored that. You made us look like monsters. I sighed. David, you are monsters. The way you let your daughter treat me? The way you dismissed me every time I told you something was wrong? That's on you. She's just a kid. She's 17, I snapped. Not a child. And she knew exactly what she was doing. Silence. Then, softer, so that's it? You're just done. I exhaled. I should have been done a long time ago. I hung up, blocked his number, and for the first time in years, I felt light. Free. And Bella? She had won. She had finally gotten what she wanted. Except, she was about to realize that sometimes winning means losing everything else. Over the next few weeks, the fallout was brutal. David lost friends. Bella lost credibility. People saw them for what they were: manipulative, entitled, and toxic. And me? I moved on. I got my own place. I rebuilt my life. And every once in a while, I'd get an update. Like how David was struggling as a single parent. Or how Bella was miserable now that she was the only one left to deal with him. And I didn't care. Because in the end, I didn't lose anything. I escaped, and I never looked back. One night, Lisa and I were having wine when she smirked at me. So, she asked, "Any regrets?" I thought about it. All the years I wasted. All the fights I endured. All the ways I had begged for David to choose me, only to realize he never would. And then, I smiled. Not a single one. Because for the first time in years, I was finally happy.